Welcome back, coin lovers and collectors. Sparkles. Today, we're going to explore the top two most valuable Buffalo nickels in U.S. history. These classic 5-cent coins, first minted in 1913, have become true icons of American coinage. But not all Buffalo nickels are the same. Some rare issues, error coins, silver tone varieties, and unique color shades have skyrocketed in value, making them highly sought after by both collectors and investors. These aren't just old nickels. They're pieces of American history that could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more, depending on their condition and rarity. So, if you're a coin enthusiast or someone who appreciates the beauty and significance of U.S. currency, this video is for you. Fast up on. When the Buffalo nickel was first struck in 1927, it was more than a coin, it was a statement. It carried the rugged image of America's untamed frontier, with a proud Native American chief on one side and the mighty bison on the other. By 1927, when the Denver Mint released its issue of this coin, the Buffalo nickel had already become a cultural icon. But among all those minted that year, the 1927 D stands apart as one of the most valuable and coveted treasures in the numismatic world. The Denver Mint, symbolized by its small D mark, was known for its smaller production runs compared to Philadelphia. In 1927, only a limited number of nickels left the presses in Denver, and because nickels of that era circulated heavily, most of them wore down quickly, their details fading into smooth surfaces. To find a 1927 D in sharp condition is like finding a glimmer of silver in a riverbed of stone, rare, breathtaking, and potentially life-changing. Collectors speak of this coin in reverent tones. Though made of copper and nickel, its true value far surpasses the metal itself. Some examples, preserved miraculously in high grades, have fetched tens of thousands of dollars at auction. The highest quality survivors, the ones where you can still see every feather on a headdress, every tuft of the buffalo's mane, are considered numismatic royalty, capable of commanding prices that rival works of fine art. The story of the Buffalo nickel is also the story of America itself. The obverse portrays a Native American profile, believed to be a composite of 3 different chiefs. The reverse shows the great American bison, often said to be modeled after Black Diamond, a famous buffalo that lived in the Central Park Zoo. Together, these images honor the land heritage and its wild spirit. And yet, the 1927 D, born in Denver, carries a mystique that elevates it above the rest of its kind. Why is this coin so powerful? The answer lies not just in numbers, but in survival. While millions of coins may have been minted, time, circulation, and human neglect reduced their population. Most 1927 D nickels were worn down to the point where their details became ghost-like, erasing their artistry. The few that remain pristine are like relics, time capsules from a bygone age of American history. Holding such a coin is an experience unlike any other. Imagine the weight of history in your palm, a coin that passed through the Great Depression, through hands that may have bought bread, fuel, or medicine at a time when every cent mattered. This nickel was not just money, it was survival. And yet, for the modern collector, it is now a symbol of fortune, wealth, and the mysterious alchemy of rarity. In today's market, the 1927 D Buffalo nickel is more than collectible. It is a dream maker. A single coin in exceptional condition can lift its finder into wealth they never imagined, with stories of overnight fortune spreading like wildfire through coin shows and auctions. For many, it is a perfect example of how a simple 5-cent piece can carry within it the power to change a life. The irony is rich. A coin that once bought a loaf of bread can now buy a house, a car, or even set someone on a path to riches. It is proof that hidden treasure still exists, not buried in mountains or locked away in vaults, but lying quietly in collections, drawers, or old jars of junk change. The 1927 D is a reminder to look closely, to never dismiss the ordinary, because within the ordinary often lies the extraordinary. The Denver Mint had a reputation for striking coins with weaker details compared to Philadelphia, and this makes the surviving sharp strike 1927 D nickels even rarer. To see one in its full glory is to witness an American masterpiece that has defied the odds. Every detail, etched lines on the native's braid, ridges on the buffalo's horn, becomes a testament to survival, endurance, and grace. Collectors chase this coin not only for its beauty, but for the thrill it brings. Auctions featuring a 1927 D in mint state create electricity in the room. The bidding rises, paddles fly, and the audience holds its breath. Everyone knows they are in the presence of greatness, a coin whose story combines artistry, scarcity, and history in one golden thread of destiny. The 1927 D Buffalo nickel is not simply a coin, it is a legend. It represents the fusion of art and economy, history and destiny, past and future. For some, it is a reminder of their heritage. For others, it is an investment. And for a rare few, it is a ticket to unimaginable wealth. So if fortune ever places a 1927 D Buffalo nickel in your hand, guard it well. Do not let it go cheaply. For within that tiny circle of metal lies the power to transform your future overnight. It is more than 5 cents. It is fortune forged in copper and nickel, a billionaire's dream hiding in plain sight, waiting for the one who dares to recognize its true worth. Next up, when the Buffalo nickel first rolled out of the U.S. Mint in 1923, it carried with it the heartbeat of America's rugged frontier spirit. Designed by sculptor James Earl Fraser, it displayed on one side a proud Native American profile, and on the other the mighty American bison. By 1923, this coin was no longer just pocket change. It had become a national emblem, a symbol of grit and heritage that tied everyday Americans to their land and history. Among the issues of that year, the 1923 D minted in Denver holds mystique all its own. The Denver Mint was known for smaller mintages compared to Philadelphia, and the coins it struck often face harsher wear in circulation. The 1923 D Buffalo nickel was one of those coins, born in smaller numbers and destined to endure heavy use across the western United States. Unlike coins that rested in bank vaults, these nickels saw life on ranches, farms, general stores, and frontier towns. The result? Very few examples remain today in high condition, and those that do are treasures of immeasurable worth. While Buffalo nickels were made of copper and nickel, not silver as many imagine, their rarity makes them shine with the brilliance of gold in the collector's market. A 1923 D in poor condition may still carry modest value, but in mint state grades, its worth skyrockets in the thousands and sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. Such coins are not mere metal discs. They are vaults of fortune, capable of rewriting the destiny of the person lucky enough to possess one. This particular year carries historical weight. America was roaring through the 1920s, an age of jazz, speakeasies, flappers, and economic boom. A 1923 D nickel clinked in pockets during a time when fortunes were made and lost overnight. The imagery on the coin, and homage to Native Americans and the vanishing buffalo, offered a poignant counterbalance to the rapid modernization of the age. It was a reminder that the old world of wilderness and tradition still lived on in the hands of every citizen. Collectors today know that finding a 1923 D with sharp details is like finding a needle in a haystack. The Denver Mint had a reputation for producing weaker strikes during this era, meaning the coin's design often lacked crispness. That makes well-preserved, well-struck examples unimaginably valuable, commanding auction prices that can leave bidders breathless. These coins are not just bought, they are fought for, symbols of prestige and victory in the numismatic world. Imagine stumbling upon one of these coins in a forgotten drawer or a dusty box of heirlooms. What once purchased a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk could now buy a new home, a luxury car, or secure your financial future. This is the paradox of the 1923 D Buffalo nickel, humble in its origins, yet capable of producing immense wealth for its owner. The artistry of Fraser's design also adds to its power. The Native American profile is a composite of 3 different chiefs, capturing dignity, strength, and resilience. The buffalo on the reverse is believed to have been modeled after Black Diamond, a bison at the Central Park Zoo. Together, they tell a story of survival, struggle, and the American landscape. Owning a sharp 1923, D is like holding a piece of this story frozen in time. Over the decades, the Buffalo nickel has become one of the most beloved series in U.S. coinage. But among them, Denver issues from the early 1920s are particularly prized because of their scarcity. The 1923 D sits at the heart of this narrative. Difficult to find, harder still in uncirculated condition, and always a centerpiece in any serious collection. At auctions, these coins electrify the room. Collectors raise their paddles with intensity, knowing they may not see another specimen for years. The bidding rises, the numbers climb, and the coin becomes more than metal. It becomes a legend, a story carried forward from generation to generation. For those who dream of sudden fortune, the 1923 The Buffalo Nickel is proof that such dreams are possible. A single coin, once worth just 5 cents, now has the power to change a life overnight. It is a billionaire's seed in the disguise of a nickel, lying in wait for the one who dares to recognize its value. And yet beyond money, it is history that makes this coin invaluable. Every scratch, every shine, every mark tells of its journey through America's past. To hold one is to bridge time, to feel the pulse of the roaring 20s and the whispers of a vanishing frontier. It is not simply currency. It is a relic, a treasure, and a legacy. So if fortune ever grants you a 1923, the Buffalo Nickel, guard it as if it were a crown jewel. Do not let it slip away at a bargain, for within its copper-nickel shell lies a power far greater than money, the power to transform your fortune and connect you with a chapter of American history that will never return.